very rare. We have satsangas where devotees are meeting and specifically discussing about how to improve their japa practice. So I congratulate all of you and the organizers of this forum to create a facility for devotees in which they can come, reflect, and improve their japa practice. Now, as I'm seeing, I think I am the only one with my camera on. I would like to invite devotees, if at all possible for you. Uh, it it becomes a little bit more personal. I know with whom am I interacting. Otherwise, it seems speaking to a wall. So whenever I want discuss about japa, I want to discuss about in terms of overall perspective. What is sadhana bhakti? What is bhakti? What is sadhana bhakti? And what is the role of japa in it? How do we approach japa? There are certain attitudes that facilitates this practice. There are certain attitudes and certain perspectives that may hamper our japa practice. So what are those? And Srila Prabhupada discusses this one thing elaborately throughout his purports. And today, it's a very famous purport on a very famous verse from Nectar of Instruction that is written by Srila Rupa Goswami. We'll quickly discuss that. It's a verse 7 from Nectar of Instructions, or commonly known as Updeshamrit. 11 verses to attain immortality in life. Updeshamrit, Updesh, instructions, the nectar of instructions. So that nectar gives us taste, and nectar also helps us attain immortality. So verse 7, it says, Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapi Vidya Pidopataptarasanasya Narochikanu Kintvadarad Anudinam Khalu Saiva Juscha Kintvadarad Bhavati Tadamula Bhakti. So Srila Rupa Goswami is saying, Syat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sitapi Vidya. Krishna Nam, the names of Krishna, Charitadi, his character, and his Adi means anything related to Krishna, his name, his form, his pastimes, is what? Sita. Do you know what is the meaning of Sita? Anyone? Which is very sweet. Uh, Api. And api, when we use api, although, although the names of Krishna, form of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna are very, very sweet, like a sugar candy, Srila Prabhupada writes. Anyone of you have ever tasted a sugar candy? So, although the names of Krishna are like sugar candy, and there is no diabetes, there is no side effect, there are only positive effects of tasting the sweetness. But what happens? Api, the word api has come, although pito pataptarasanasya narochikanu. Pit rog. What is that pit rog? It's called jaundice. What happens in jaundice? When someone gets jaundice, when someone gets the disease, although the sugar candy is sweet, one is unable to taste the sweetness. The sugar candy appears as very bitter. So it says, Pito patapta rasanasya. What is rasanasya? The tongue. The tongue doesn't taste its sweetness. Na rochikano. There is no ruchi. Na. But Srila Rupa Goswami gives us the medicine for it. In material world, there are many problems for which there is no medicine at all. There are many diseases like this, right? Uh, but in spiritual culture, our acharyas give us the problem, give us the root cause, and give us the medicine also. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Why there is no taste? First of all, Srila Rupa Goswami says it. Syat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sitapya Vidya. The cause is avidya. Now, this avidya has been discussed at many times in many places in Bhagavatam, or even in prasadam prayers. We chant Sharira Vidya Ja, avidya comes. And even in Nectar of Devotion, which is Srila Rupa Goswami, discussed this avidya in great detail. The avidya is said to be the root cause of all problems in life. Why? Because avidya is the cause of sin. Due to avidya, there is material desires, due to which one acts impiously. It results to so many complications. So Srila Rupa Goswami says, because of avidya, what is this avidya in essence? That I've forgotten Krishna. I don't know who I am. I don't know what is my purpose of life. And due to this avidya, because I've forgotten Krishna, there's no taste. But what is the solution? Kintva darad anudinam khalu saiva juscha. Kintu, but adarad, if respectfully, anudinam means daily. So out of respect, adarad, anudinam, khalu saiva juscha. If I chant the names of Krishna with respect, when do I chant? Anudinam, daily. What happens then? Swad Kintvadaradanudanam khalusaiva juscha swadvi kramad bhavati. That swad, that taste will come gradually. And what will happen? Tadgad moola hantri. This disease will be eradicated from its root cause. So, Srila Prabhupada writes a very, very beautiful purport to it, and in which he speaks about specifically about Sambandha and certain perspectives and certain attitudes which helps us understand this verse and enhance our practice of japa. So that's Srila Rupa Goswami. And again, Srila Rupa Goswami writes, what is bhakti? What is sadhana bhakti? There are various stages of bhakti: sadhana bhakti, bhav bhakti, and prema bhakti. So can someone tell what is sadhana bhakti? I want to ask all of you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranams.
Yes.
Sadhana Bhakti is when we are on the level of just simply practicing by taking instructions from senior acharyas. Like we have not developed real attachment to Krishna's name, but we are simply practicing by following instructions.
Okay, thank you, Aditi Mataji. Wonderful answer. Okay, others?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
There are two types of sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. In
Yes.
Vaidhi bhakti, we follow 64 regulative principles, which is given in Nectar of Devotion. Nectar of Devotion. And
Yes.
basically, we follow all rules and regulations, which is given and important for our progress in
So
bhakti,
what
devotional
my question
service.
is, what happens in Bhav and Prema Bhakti? There are no rules and regulations at that stage?
There are no need actually, Prabhuji, to the rules and regulations automatically followed in that level. But
Okay.
at sadhana level, we have to be conscious that we do not break the rules. In
Okay.
Bhava Bhakti, in Prema Bhakti, there is no rules. Actually, whatever pure devotee do is perfect in devotional service. But for
Okay.
us, like a neophyte, it is necessary to practice certain rules so that we can um, pure our consciousness. We can make our consciousness more purified.
Thank you, Vidyapati Prabhu. Yes. So Srila Rupa Goswami gives precise definition of sadhana bhakti. And if you understand this definition, everything fits in context, whatever we are doing in Krishna consciousness. So sadhana bhakti means doing something with our senses and mind. How do we do? Either by speech, by mind, or our senses. So certain set of do's and certain sets of don'ts, some rules and regulations. For what? What happens by following that? If you follow certain activities through which what happens? The love that every jiva has within his or her heart towards Krishna awakens. That is the definition of sadhana bhakti. Those activities, by doing which the love of Krishna awakens in one's heart. Understand? Now, what are those activities? Then Srila Rupa Goswami, yes, Madhuri.
Hare Krishna. Like the obeisances, doing deity worship, arti, and the practices which we do to show our bhakti to Krishna is our sadhana bhakti, to my understanding. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
So, then Srila Rupa Goswami, exactly, Srila Rupa Goswami writes a ninefold devotional service that Prahlad Maharaj speaks. Shamanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pada Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasyam, Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. Right. And then he expands this 9 into 64 limbs of devotional service. There are 64 limbs by doing which the love of Krishna awakens in one's heart. Now, this sadhana bhakti has Vaidi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana bhakti. Vaidi sadhana bhakti means when there is no natural attraction for Krishna. The source of inspiration is not internal, it is external. External on the base of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Raganuga sadhana bhakti means when the source of inspiration, you are depending upon source of inspiration, that is internal. Okay. So in the stage, if there is no affinity, there is no natural love, then what one depends upon? The inspiration derived from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And one commits to this practice of, Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. By following Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti and by right association, one can come to the platform of Raganuga Sadhana. Again, it is a sadhana bhakti. So there is some sadhya, there is some goal, there is, a process to attain that goal. And there's, of course, the someone, again, who am I? Where am I at my present situation? Now, if you have pen and paper with all of you, or if you have your mobile, something, if you have to write down, can you please, take that out? I have one question for all of you. Don't respond by sharing in this. It's first of all, you need to write it at your own place. Yeah, you can write it now, and of course, you can also contemplate it later on after the session ends. What does prema look like to you? What does love of Krishna means to you? What happens when there is love for Krishna? How does it look like? How does your life look like with love of Krishna and without love of Krishna? What will be the difference? Okay, that's I'm giving you 60 seconds to write at least one point, whatever comes to your consciousness right now. For you as a person, individual as a person, what does love of Krishna means? What does it mean to you as a person? Okay, Jyoti Mataji writes, do not worry about anything. Okay. What do you think, Mother Yashoda would worry about something or no? Brajvasi is worried about something. Their worries increased 1,000 times. Taking care of Krishna. They could not live in peace, even for a moment. There is always something or other Krishna, Balram, and all the boys in Praja were doing. They're about talking to Krishna directly with love of Krishna. Okay. Prema, unconditional bond. Yeah. So that's one exercise for you. Write down as many points as possible. How does it manifest? How does it look like to you? Maybe you would want to chant rounds, then you'll think, why 16? Why not 16 million rounds I have to chant? Maybe it would mean how I deal with anyone else in the world. I would deal based upon kindness. I could see the presence of Krishna in others' hearts, and my dealings would be based upon, you know, genuine love and affection. How would my relationships look like if to a person who is genuinely in love with Krishna? Maybe I'll become free from lust, greed, and anger. So it would mean different thing for every one of you will have some individual vision or aspiration. Okay. So my next question to you, um, how do you think, what is the role of japa or chanting Krishna's name in attaining that love? Okay. So we discussed something about that, and this forum is about that. So you can write that in your spare time, just because of paucity of time. The specifically, I want you to answer next two questions. Write down minimum one and maximum three challenges or obstacles that you face while chanting japa. At least one challenge that you face when you chant japa, and write maximum three. If you're done, maybe you can raise your hand. Let me know at least one challenge that you have. If you all have got it down on a piece of paper in front of you. It can be anything. Maybe I feel sleepy. Maybe I find it mechanical. Maybe I am so busy with my career and home. Whenever I sit down, I get so many thoughts, or I am so drained out, I don't have energy left, not able to manage time. It can be different. It can be my best friend, my mobile phone. It can be anything. Uh, Now, last question for all of you. What do you think? What do you think? Write down minimum one and maximum three. At least one thing that you know, if you do that thing, will greatly help your japa practice. It may be in your consciousness, but we may be ignoring, not giving it importance. There must be some sound that is coming in subconscious mind or in the heart. Okay, you do this. You clearly know by doing this, you will definitely improve your spiritual life like anything, and specifically the japa practice. It will be different for different individuals. If you can write down at least one point and maximum three, that you know you need to do this, and your japa will take off to a different height if you do that one thing. And of course, that one thing will include japa. By doing japa, the japa will improve. No doubt about that. Uh, and it can mean other things also. In order to chant that japa, any one adjustment that you need to do, or any one thing that you do. Okay, I see some responses in the chat. Okay, association with devotees, you have to need to be a little bit more specific. What does association look like for you? What does it mean? It has to be very practical. Maybe association means, just like attending this forum, that I'll be present on Sunday to attend this forum. That is association. That's one practical thing. Otherwise, it's a very broad term. Okay. Yeah, maybe practicing gratitude. Okay. So, uh, Prabhu, we have to continue till what time? 7:50, right?
Yeah, we have another 5-10 minutes. We can go.
Yeah, okay. So in conclusion, I want to highlight 2 points. One, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport of the verse that we were discussing, and he was speaking about why this lack of taste is there. And he's speaking about a term that comes in Bhagavatam, and that says Durashraya. Ashraya means taking shelter, and Durashraya means taking shelter of something which will actually not give us shelter, which whose shelter will not give us happiness. It's illusory. It is a bad shelter. It will rather give the other way around. Na devidu swadgatem hi Vishnu durashaya ye bahirartha manina. People don't know what is good for them, that their real interest is Vishnu. And because they don't know, because of this avidya, what happens? They take shelter of this material world. That is also said to be durashraya. And what happens in material world? It says, andha yatha anderupaniyamana. The leaders are blind, the followers are blind. Leaders are blind because they're atheists, they don't know who is Krishna, they are blind to the laws of nature. And when one imposes one faith on blind leaders or in the material world, material hopes and aspirations, it leads to disappointment in life. So, Srila Prabhupada speaks, if we turn our shelter, all the shelter that we have taken in the material world, which are Durashraya, but if we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna's name and Krishna's message, that will never be disappointing. That is the most assuring faith that anyone can get. And most assuring shelter. That's a real shelter. And my second point related to some practical things which can really help our japa in our individual life. First and foremost, mobile phone. If while chanting japa, if you can not put it on silent, if you can just turn it off, and if you can turn off from everything and be fully present in the japa, that's the way of Kintva Darad Anudinam. That's the way of showing respect to holy names. Yeah. What happens when you're talking to someone and in between you're always on mobile? Or even if you're holding mobile while talking to someone, the other person feels that I'm not his or her first priority, right? That's disrespectful. So one way of showing respect to holy name is when I'm chanting, uh, just remove mobile from that environment. Keep it off, keep it in another room, give it to someone, tell him or her, till the time I complete my japa, don't give it my hand. If it stays within the proximity of 100 meters of me, I know while japa, I'll go and look at. So one thing that can really help is, now many of us may know this and we may still be hooked to it, or maybe to some other habits. Then second thing that helps is accountability. Now, if we have one accountability partner with us, if we have some friend with us, and we, report to each other, how many rounds I chanted without mobile, or how many rounds I chanted 16 rounds without interruption. Yeah. So it can really help us a lot. We connect with someone, find fix a time. Alone, it may be challenging, but if we find even one partner, even one friend, and we connect, okay, let us connect and let us stand japa together, let us stand read together. Or if you just leave mobile and go to temple and sit in temple halls in early morning hours with devotees, nothing like that. So that's one that really helps. Second, our own health. If you are taking care of your own health, it really helps us in, in our spiritual practices. So do whatever you need to do to take care of your health. Do exercise, have a healthy diet, have a proper sleep, have a quality sleep, sleep early, wake up early, whatever. Um, these are timeless principles, but most ignored principles in today's age. But to the degree if we can take care of, you know, implementing these principles in our life and taking care of our health. If we are taking medicine, being responsible, taking it timely, drinking enough water, doing whatever need to be done so that we function appropriately. That really helps. Third thing that really helps is glorifying Vaishnavas, serving Vaishnavas. Uh, to the degree you are appreciating other Vaishnavas, you'll see it will reflect in your japa. To the degree we are criticizing unnecessarily, uh, with a mood to actually bring the other person down, you'll see that all the taste in japa vanishes. Just make a try an experiment, 30-day experiment. Every day, just write one glory of either a gratitude towards some Vaishnava, or just every day make it a point. I'll glorify at least one devotee. And I'm not even saying acharyas and Prabhupada and Krishna, the devotees living next to you, the devotees with whom you are interacting from your own community. Try this. They may have we may be seeing their hundreds of faults, but if no one has 100% fault, then everyone has at least one quality, one thing they're doing right. Just pick that up, try to search that and glorify. Either write it in your own notebook or glorify uh, to them, or at their back to someone else. Try doing this 30-day experiment. If your japa doesn't improve after that, I take full guarantee, full assurance. I'm willing to do whatever you want to, for wasting your time. But I assure you, it will reflect in your japa. Uh, uh, Either write a gratitude or just glorify one devotee at their back. Yeah, these are some of my thoughts, and I would like to stop here to see if there are any questions, reflections, or any points that any one of you would want to add to the conversation.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, about all these sharing practical, points, how we can improve our japa, especially, uh, thinking more about our routine about japa, how we are doing, and then from there, how we can, identify the the activities which are, not helping us to improve. It will definitely help us.
Thank you, thank you. And yeah, it reminds me just one more one thing, not small but very important. Prabhupada writes in Introduction to Bhagavad Gita that our consciousness is completely hijacked by newspaper, by all the different kinds of talks in the town. And the purpose of Vedic literature is it can turn our consciousness from material to spiritual. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padagam Sada Pashyanti Suraya. We can have that vision and consciousness. So spending a quality time with Srila Prabhupada books. That's also very fundamental in you know transforming our consciousness. Otherwise, whatever content, so as to say, the audios, the videos, the text that we take from the senses, it formulates that kind of consciousness. But if we can spend some time reading Srila Prabhupada purports, and Prabhupada writes even while doing deity worship, those 64 limbs, of course, we discussed, but specifically deity worship and Bhagavatam, or that is also very fundamental. Everything is interconnected. We can't just isolate and yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'll stop. Yeah.
Any questions? Sadhu Sevan Prabhuji, you have any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot for the wonderful practical points that you shared. Prabhu, I have one question. Like you mentioned, when we glorify the devotees, either we should be writing that or we should be glorifying them when they are not around. So can I know the reason? Like, what if we glorify them when we are in front of them? I mean, was there any specific?
No, I
reason?
said both ways. In front of them, in
Okay.
back, in writing, whatever works for you. If you can write and share, many people see it. It reaches to like even behind your back, it reaches to so many other people, right?
Okay.
And writing has a very strong impact on our consciousness, and it stays. If we speak and we may forget, but if you are writing and 5 years later you read it, oh wow, in the perspective changes. Yeah. If you can journal, nothing like that. First journal and then speak. It won't, it just takes 5 minutes a day. That's all. To write 1.5 minutes. How much time is that?
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Any other question?
Hare Krishna, Premanjana Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji, for your kind association. Please forgive me. There was no signals here, almost no signals here. I'm sitting very another place to receive a signal to attend your class.
So we were
Thank you.
discussing about you, just like you give medicine to your patients. Srila Rupa Goswami has given a medicine to all of us. Yeah.
Please forgive me. But actually, there were almost no signals. The last 2 days I'm without signals. Almost, it was very nice also for me
You
to
utilize
relax
your time best by chanting. The best Japa session is just attending holiness, nothing superior to that.
Yes, it was the Lord Krishna's arrangement only actually. So I could chant also and I could relax also without mobile, almost without mobile. Thank you very much Prabhuji, for your class. Thank you for your time and kind association.
Thank you for this opportunity to serve. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have one doubt related to Narsimharti. May I?
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead.
Prabhuji, it's like, I don't have altar here, but I have bought a Narsimha statue from ISKCON and I'm worshipping with that. I do Aarti every day to Narsimha, singing that Aarti song, but I'm not doing any other kind of formalities which they do, protocols which they do in the temple. Is that okay? Is it a sin to do only Aarti with the ghee Aarti, or I have to follow all the steps what they do there? Because I'm not trained for that, and it's not conducive here to go with the altar, so I'm just postponing it for the time being. But I'm so like Narasimha Swami is kind of so connected to him that I cannot be without at least singing the Aarti with the ghee lamp. Is it okay to do that?
It's very wonderful. I think it's a most auspicious step that any jiva can take to invite Lord at one's home. So all glories, it's the most auspicious journey has begun by worshiping the Lord. So congratulations, keep doing what you're doing. Few things that if it's feasible for you, you can do. You can offer tulsi leaf to Lord Narasimhadev on a daily basis. If you have flowers along with lamp, if you can just offer a few flowers. And whatever you are eating, you can offer bhoga to the Lord Narasimhadev. If these things you can do along with the chanting of names of Krishna, that would be wonderful.
These three things I'm doing: flowers and poha and tulsi.
Yeah.
Because
So
tulsi leaf I'm putting in the water. It's not that I'm offering. I'm just keeping that pancha patra. In that I'm putting the tulsi leaf.
if we can offer at least one tulsi leaf at his lotus feet every day, that would be good. And offering of bhoga at least one time if you are offering bhoga to him.
That I'm doing.
Just keep doing that. Lord Narasimhadev will make all arrangements by himself. He'll inspire you. Keep doing what
Thank
you're
you.
doing. That's all. Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada ki jai.
Teacher.
Thank God.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hare Krishna.